It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Episode 46 of Two Guys and a Goalie, presented to you by Oddshark. Visit our presenting sponsor at oddshark.com. Also presented to you by Popeyes Louisiana Chicken. Try Popeyes legendary Louisiana Chicken today, and Sport Clip Haircuts, home of the MVP experience. We decided that you probably need something to listen to, maybe a little bit of a pick-me-up during the current time. So it's Dustin Nielsen, it is Matt Cassian, it is Joaquin Gage, and it is Hernan Salas, who is with us as well, and he is bundled up. He's got the toque on, he's got the scarf on, he's got the winter coat on.
My Desert Storm scarf.
You are. Hernan is...
Be cautious, boys.
You got to be extra careful. You're right. And,
Especially with Gage.
yeah, we gotta talk to you about this. What the fuck were you doing at a
like
bingo?
A member of the Taliban over there. You're worried about me? Jesus.
That is true, though. But what were you doing at a bingo?
Dusty, I'm a man of the people, all right? I need to be amongst my people. And I'm one of them now. I've become...
You're a bingo person now?
Well,
bingo's fun.
But not right now. Like, why? How come bingos aren't shut down?
Kass and I are in the same profession, and being financial advisors, I go where the money is. And
the money is at bingo.
There was a lot of money being thrown around.
Yeah.
It was like people were winning lots of money.
Yeah.
And at first I thought... The first couple people walked in, and I thought I was in the fourth installment of Lord of the Rings for a second there. But then I thought, you know what? This could be a social event. Like people...
It is a social event.
No, it's not. Like it? It's not. Like, once the balls drop, things get serious.
It gets serious.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of talking while the numbers are
there's
coming.
no talking.
Oh, really?
There was one older couple there. They were younger. And there was like four of them, and they looked like they were there for a good time. But I think they were regulars. Like they looked like, let's go do some bingo tonight. And it's not even licensed. That's what's really weird. It took me a while to get comfortable with it. Like I remember I walked by these two ladies, and one of them says, "Should we split it?" And me being everything's a sexual reference, thinking, what? And I turned around, and she said, "Hey, you got any double action?" And I'm like, "What?" And then because I was selling Bonanza tickets.
Oh yeah, the Bonanza, nice.
So I go, "No, all I got is Bonanza." And she was like, "Well, get over here then." And I was like, "Okay," but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was a eye-opening experience for sure.
Cass, when was the last time you were at bingo? Did you ever go? Have you ever been? Because you said it was fun, so I thought you were like,
I know, like my grandma goes.
My grandma used to go all the time. Yeah, she was hardcore. Her and my grandpa were there probably 3 nights a week, and on Sundays.
I play like Princess Bingo with my girls.
Oh, that sounds fun too.
It's like they have a wheel though. It's not numbers, and they have pictures of the different princesses on there.
Oh, and they've got to get that put together.
They got to get that put together.
Yeah,
it was weird. One woman, she really looked out of place, and. Because a lot of the guys were wearing gloves just with the current epidemic and stuff because we were handling a lot of money.
Were you wearing gloves?
No.
Gager.
Well, that's what she looks at me and says, no gloves. And she's there to play bingo. And she was like dressed really nice. And she kind of caught me off guard, and I go, "I live dangerously." And then she kind of, "You're funny." And I went and sat down. But no, it was a good time.
My grandma used to play 12 cards at once. Like, she would just be bopping like crazy, and I'd be sitting here, I was like 7, with one card of my own, and she's bopping mine too. She's not even giving me a chance to bop my own card. Like, she was a bingo phenomenon. Like, she really was. Unbelievable.
Yeah, the different game, like, it almost got to the point where by the end of the night, because I was there for a good shift, it felt like I was in the press box playing hockey because I was just watching, and I wanted to start playing because I started getting to know the games and stuff. And one guy won like $3,000 on one game, and they play these games called balls, and so. Which is really weird because all these people are holding up signs saying balls on them. And then me, like, again, growing up in a dressing room, when a woman goes, "Hey, you got any balls?" And how do you respond to that when you don't know what they're talking about? And I was like, no. But once I got it down, I was more professional.
That's good. That's good. Kass, how are you? You keep her in pretty tight over the weekend?
Yeah, I was told that since we weren't going out anywhere, that I had to stay in and work on the nursery. So,
how'd that go?
It was good. I don't mind that actually. So I finished all the caulking.
Yeah, you did.
Kass spent the weekend caulking, I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And filling the cracks.
What has happened to this guy? What has happened to this guy? Oh my goodness. Kass.
And then I had to sand everything down, and then I got the first paint job done. So.
How do you think of that any other way?
This is the funniest thing you've ever said in the history of the podcast. We're on episode 46. Even Hernan's removed his scarf to laugh and smile. It's amazing. That's great.
I was working on the nursery. We'll put up board and batten, if you know what that is.
No, I had no idea.
I'm not even going to try to describe
okay.
it. It's like vertical. I'll show you after the picture.
I think you showed me a picture of it.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. My wife is very, very good from a design standpoint. And so we had most of everything was like nailed in and set up. So it just was to the point of finishing and painting. So I got the first coat of paint, and it was very painstaking because there's a lot of like corners and a lot of little areas. So you're not just going with a roller over top of everything. So it took a long time. So did that, worked on the closet doors a little bit. That was most of what I did.
Yeah, not a bad weekend. I went and checked out some curling. Had some buddies in a
Nice.
Bonspiel. Popped in quickly just to get away from everything. Sat there for a bit, watched some curl. It was. I curled once in my life, staying Bonspiel about 5 years ago, and I slipped and fell and hit my head and got concussed. So I haven't been back in 5 years.
Go back
so
and wear a helmet.
It was weird. It was weird just walking back into that place. It really was. I was like, this is where it happened. I didn't. The whole place stopped when I fell and hit I dented curling ice. Like I busted that pebble when I went down. I went down hard.
That's pretty good. Were you wearing the right shoes, or did you have one
no,
of those,
what
like,
happened?
slipper guard
It was
things?
a long night the night before, as usually the Friday of a Bonspiel is, and for some reason I was still in a suit, and I crashed at a buddy's house. And when we got up in the morning, I was like, I can't go curling in a suit. So we stopped at Mark's Work Warehouse, and for some reason, it must have been a shortage on sweats or something. The only sweats I could get were 5XL, which, I mean, I'm a big guy, but these things, I was swimming in these things. So I went to run back and sweep a rock, and I just slipped on these sweats and just
wanna,
bitter.
Buy a pair of jeans.
I'm not curling in jeans either. You got to curl in
It's
track
better than
pants or
dress
something.
pants.
Well, that might have been better than
You're like Patrick Swayze in Youngblood.
pretty much the exact same thing. Yeah, that's pretty much what
Did
it was.
you walk in with a bandage around your head? You should have.
Same sort of thing. That would have been good. Still banged up. Can't take part. If you're watching the live stream, you want to leave a comment, feel free. Ask a question. I'll try to keep some tabs on that. Hernan will as well. If you're downloading the podcast at a later time, feel free to leave us a comment in the Apple comment section, and we'll get to that on a future episode. Okay, from a sporting perspective, everything has been shut down. We have not had a podcast since last Monday. Kass, were you watching TV? Were you watching things live when the NBA canceled that game, and then all of a sudden it was like all of North America just got shut down?
Well, yeah. The second the NBA canceled it, because we had a post-game show. So
That's right, you did that night,
Me
yeah.
and Tom. And we talked about how fast is the NHL going to shut this down, and I think the general consensus between the three of us, and Hernan, correct me if I'm wrong, but was right away.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy smokes, it's gonna have such a steamrolling effect where you're just gonna see one after another because it sets precedent, and no one wants to look like they're not being responsible, and it's a serious thing. So I understand why they did it, but it was weird even on the weekend, because normally I'm watching highlights at the least if I'm not watching hockey, and it was just like, what am I doing? It's weird, man.
It is weird. It's eerie.
It is.
It's eerie. Isn't eerie kind of the best way to, like, I still went out. I went out on Sunday. My oven door had broken, and I'm not handy at all. So I was just like, well, I'll go to Home Depot. They've got to have new parts for an oven door. And they didn't. But I was at Home Depot, and there was still, like, it wasn't busy, but there were still people out and about. But everything just seems so weird. It really does.
Yeah, I had to go pick up some. It was my brother-in-law's birthday on Saturday, so I made a little potato dish for an appetizer, and I
Sounds
needed
nice.
some stuff, and I went into the aisle, and I needed tomato paste, but it was the bean aisle. There was nothing in there in Walmart, right?
It was just cleared out.
It was so weird, and there was this old couple coming towards me, and I'm in the kind of where the beans are, and he's visibly like pissed,
Yeah.
and his wife's like, oh, and I go, yeah, like who's taking all these beans? And he looks at me, he's got this look on his face, he's like, yeah, and I go, well, I guess we know why they're getting all the toilet paper, and his wife kind of goes, huh? And then walk right back. And Patrick goes, "Oh, you."
So you're bringing smiles to people's face. Yeah.
Levity. I love it.
I am a man of the people. I like to make people smile, Dusty. You know that. Hey, you heard Mac T? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
you're
that's
a
what he
good
said.
room guy.
Good room guy. It's just my room's bigger now.
When I was coming into Little Brick here in Edmonton, where we record this, there was a lady who was coming out of a house, and she had a roll of 12-pack of toilet paper. And I was sitting in the car, and I was just like, I'm going to get out and be like, give me that toilet paper. So I got out of my car, and then I thought better, and I said, oh, toilet paper, eh? And she goes, yeah, my friend bought it for me. I was like, it's important to have good friends at a time like this.
You see those like the classified websites? They shut down.
Oh, yeah, they're not allowed to sell hand sanitizer for hundreds of dollars.
Price gouging.
I don't know why people need to be such dicks.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Like,
at
just
all.
be nice to other people.
Yeah. Speaking of the Anaheim Ducks.
Oh, should we talk about poor Kiefer Sherwood? How do you put somebody on waivers in the middle of a league shutdown due to a pandemic?
All the league shuts down. Like, it's not just the NHL, it's the AHL too. So you put him through on waivers just so you have to pay him less.
Yeah.
Like that's all that is so we have to pay this guy less money. That is vindictive, and that is
It's greasy.
it's not even greasy. You wanna wonder about some back offices, the way that some teams run, and why some people leave the game of hockey and never want anything to do with it again. It's crap like that. Like, what are you doing? Like, in the middle of a pandemic, you place this guy on waivers, being like, "Oh, bet we're gonna get him through waivers."
Like you sneak him through.
You sneak from a team reputation standpoint. Like, you think as a player, I'm gonna want to be involved with a team like that's gonna put a guy on waivers in the middle of a pandemic and be like, "Oh, we're gonna get him through waivers." And how do you think that phone call went? Hey, Kiefer, we're gonna put you on waivers, and we're kind of concerned because we think another team might pick you up here for during the pandemic. Like, that's freaking greasy. It is greasy.
He becomes an answer to a trivia question 20 years from now. Yeah. Who was the player the Ducks put on waivers at the beginning of COVID-19 pandemic?
I would have taken a hammer to my wrist and broke it and say,
I can't go down.
Look what
I'm
happened. Look what happened. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew did that to try to keep a year of eligibility in college football.
Oh man, I bumped my head the other day at practice. I didn't say anything because
you got to keep me here.
That's life altering too. Like those are big checks.
Even if it's one, because who knows if they get the last couple? It still makes a difference. It's a huge difference.
Aren't they getting paid throughout this whole thing?
I thought it said they were going to get all of them were going to get two of their checks and then
really?
part of their third one or something like that.
Okay, so even then, the 2 to 3, let's even call it just 2 paychecks. That's a big difference for Mr. Sherwood. That's garbage. That is honestly garbage. That's one of the dumbest things I've seen a team do in a long time. Where I'm just like, how stupid can you be? That's just ridiculous, Anaheim. You should be embarrassed.
What would be the West paper for that? Greasy, eh, Gator? Like, is that not exactly what that is? Like,
that's awful. I'd be really upset.
The National Hockey League did release this today. I'm going to give you the latest here on COVID-19 from a National Hockey League perspective. Effective immediately, players can opt to return home outside of the club's home city, including outside of North America, to the extent that flights are available. The self-quarantine period should continue with the players home through and including Friday, March 27th, unless a longer period may be required in accordance with local mandates related to travel. Players should continue to report immediately any symptoms or testing results to club medical staff. At the end of the self-quarantine period, and depending on world developments between now and then, consideration will be given to allowing the opening of club facilities to players in scheduled and coordinated small groups for voluntary training and care of players on the same basis as in an off-season. Our objective will be that, in addition to continuing regular updates, we will be able to provide high-level guidance on the potential of opening a training camp period roughly 45 days into the 60-day period covered by the CDC's directive. So to me, when I read that, and correct me if maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but does that not sound like they want to be back on the ice together training in 45 days? That's exactly what that is right now. My question then would be, does that not seem super optimistic? Or is that realistic?
Why wouldn't you be optimistic about it? You have to plan for. You have to. Plan
You're right.
For
I
the
guess
best.
they
You
can
have to
say,
plan for
"Hey,
the best and plan for the worst."
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so this would be high end.
That's the
Everything's
best case
happy,
scenario.
best case scenario. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I get that. You're right, because they could easily say, "Hey, guess what? Instead of 45 days, it's going to be 90 days, or what? Or it's done."
Well, 90
Your
days.
entire
If it's
season's
90
done,
days,
yeah.
you're done.
Is
if
that-
it's 90 days, your season's done.
Yeah. Is that 24 team playoff actual reality? Were they?
I think that's
You could do a play-in, so playing on the bottom teams, and then like best of three,
That'd be awesome.
playing a play-in to get to 16,
yeah.
and then best of three, like best of five, best of seven, or best of three, best of five, best of
And
five.
the Oilers would be safe because they're second. They
Yeah.
don't have to play in.
Well, no, it would be interesting because I think if you were going to go 24 deep, it would be top 4 in each conference or top 2 in each division. Yeah, it'd probably be top 2 in each division. So you're right, the Oilers would be in. And then after that, in the conferences, I guess you would have 5 play 12,
Mm-hmm.
6 play 11, 7 play 10, 8 play 9. Yeah. And then like a best of 3? Whoever wins those series go in? Or would you do it just one game?
Probably doing one game.
Oh, man, one game. I think you got to go best of 3 if that's
And someone proposed this. This wasn't me. It was on. I can't remember if it was on what TV show, Sportsnet or TSN. Someone. You do the 2-game total point.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
That's brutal.
Total goals or total points
Total
from
gaze.
the
total goals.
Wow.
Total goals.
It's a
I
new
know
league.
things are changing here, Kass, but you can't say that.
It's a happy league.
I don't like a total
Total
goals.
games. I was trying to say total games.
That
total
way,
goals.
if you go total goals, I saw somebody suggest you do a 2-game series. If the team wins the first game in regulation, the other team has to win in regulation in game 2, and then you go to overtime. Next goal wins the series.
Yeah,
I don't mind that, right?
I
Like,
don't mind that either.
do you think there's any way they just do a 1-game plan though when teams haven't really?
Yeah.
You think so?
If it depends on the time.
Yeah.
What about in the football? Like, wasn't 1 goal count as 2 on the road, kind of?
Yeah, it's an aggregate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
if they did something like that?
Road goals are more valuable.
Yeah.
No way. You couldn't do that in the National
No,
Hockey
yeah, I
League.
know you couldn't.
There's no way.
Yeah, when we did that because when I played in Europe in one league of the many I played in, we had the 2-game total goals, and it's just brutal because the first game, the reffing was terrible, and so it worked out for us because we scored a ton of goals, but it was just awful. The next game they didn't care, and it was
They
brutal.
should have played better in the first game.
Yeah, but I don't.
The second game's a mail-in though at that point, right? They're not going to come back and win.
Yeah,
That's why I like the regulation win, and then go to
What if
overtime.
one's an overtime win?
just a best
Well,
of
if
3.
the other team wins in regulation, then that would be more important than the overtime win, I think.
Best of 3, but the team that only gets 1 game at home, like whatever, they can
the
pick
lower
whether
seed-
they want to
lower seed.
start or on the road or
I
not.
know.
This will bring us to our Popeyes poll question. Try Popeyes legendary Louisiana chicken today. Will the NHL resume in any way this season? And Hernan, I believe you posted. I think we're going for 1,000 votes, or darn close to it. What are people saying?
Yeah, we're at 1,500.
Really?
Popular. Ooh,
People are dying.
that's crazy.
Will the NHL resume in any way this season? 72.6% for no.
Yeah.
And I'm with them.
Yeah.
I flavor that way too. I don't see, with the way that people have reacted to this, I just don't see it happening.
My wife lived in Italy for a couple years, and her best friend now lives in Madrid, Spain. And she was saying people in Spain were laughing at the people of Italy when all this started because everything went nuts and they weren't prepared and just blah, blah, blah. But now she's stuck at home.
Yeah,
with her
Spain
kid.
is shut down too.
Like, it's just like Italy. And she said to my wife last night when they were talking, you guys wait. Like, it's gonna come to you guys too. Like, we thought the same way you think right now. I mean, there are smaller countries, more densely
populated,
but that's I don't think we see hockey till September, unfortunately.
Well, we're on even if they do complete social distancing and quarantine, like it's on the upswing. it's not like we've hit the peak and we're on the way down.
Oh no,
And
it's still on the way up for sure.
It's
Yeah,
on the way up.
we're
And
just trying to get ahead of it, right?
Just trying to get ahead of it.
basically all we're trying to do right now is make things easier on the healthcare system. Right?
Yeah.
Like this is still going to spread. We're just trying to stop the spread, slow it down so that the healthcare system can handle the load.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of social distancing, right? Like,
Well, yeah, because they're getting to the point in Italy and Spain where they're making life and death decisions on whether they're going to treat someone or not, depending on
their age and condition.
yeah, so
yeah, which is unbelievable having to have somebody put in that spot, which is, it's absolutely nuts. Another story coming out of all of this is teams paying their part-time employees, and Mark Cuban started it, and Cuban was like, right away, there's no hesitation. There was no, we need to get planned. No, we're going to pay for everybody. And then, some players started to chip in with some money. And at that point, it looks bad on the teams if players are willing to pay. Like Sergei Bobrovsky, what he pumped, $100,000 into it. Kevin Love, obviously a lot of money as well.
didn't Zion start that?
Zion was in on it too, and he's just on a rookie. Mind you, his endorsements and stuff. He's not hard up, but I thought that was nice to see from his perspective as well. Kass, there's no way a National Hockey League team shouldn't be able to cover some part-time stuff. Like I know it's 1,600 here in
help the
Edmonton, but
people
come
out.
on, like
help the people out.
these are your employees. These people make things work when it's going.
They're not just employees. They're people in the community, and even from a long-term economic fallout, if you think, okay, so if you're the Edmonton Oilers, you don't pay these people, they're going to have to try to find something else. They're going to be scraping by for money, or they're not going to be able to work anymore. Like it creates a undue economic burden to not. In long term, you have to, even from a goodwill standpoint, is it going to cost your team more to not pay than to pay? And I don't know. Just being a responsible human and being responsible community, being a responsible community, and parts of that, the teams should help out. It doesn't have to be everything.
They're topping up if they're on, if they go on EI or however it's going to work.
Help them out, and if they can or cannot get EI, if they're not able to, because maybe they don't have enough hours. Like, how are you going to help and helping people out? You don't. Yeah, it's a tricky situation, but I don't know. Just be good people. That's the kind of
Eat it. Just eat it. I mean, it's going to cost you some money. Just eat it. And
be a responsible human that cares about other humans. Eat a little bit of the cost. Yes, that sucks. You may not make as much money as you'd like, but you can help a lot of people out and provide for people and help them provide for themselves and their families. So just help out.
Okay, we're going to talk about
maybe that's why Anaheim sent Sherwood down. They just, they're going to use the rest of his salary
to help pay people. That makes sense. That would be nice.
But that's where it's coming from.
All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to get to some binge-worthy television shows a little bit later on in this episode. If you're watching the live stream, feel free to comment and let us know which episodes or which television shows you think would be good to watch if you're going to be sitting at home here for the majority of your time. We'll play Keep It or Clip It a little bit later on, but let's play Two Guys Super Trivia, which we debuted with Kass and Tommy Gazzola. Gager, this will be your first time playing Two Guys Super Trivia. How it works, I've got 5 categories, 2 questions in each category. Okay, if you get one of the questions right, you'll get a point. Each of you can use Hernan one time as a lifeline. I think somebody went to Hernan for a lifeline last time.
I did, and he
didn't help.
He didn't help at all.
Didn't help at all. And Hernan is not allowed to Google or search anything either. He has to get off the top of his head. All right, rock, paper, scissors to see who gets control of the board first.
1, 2, 3, shoot, or 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
There it is. Kass.
Okay. 2, 3, go.
I got it again. Back to back. Same one. All right. So, Kass, you have control of the board. Here are your categories. Wayne Gretzky. Dun, 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 dun. I guess I could have called that one the great one. Big Bad Bruins, Snipers, Puck Stoppers, and as always, Kevin Bacon. All right. You get control of the board first, Kass.
I'm going to go Puck Stoppers, please.
Puck Stoppers. All right. Here we go for 1 point. Hernan, you going to keep track of points?
Yeah.
Okay. How many goaltenders? And first Kass gets to answer, and then you can see it. It's not straight up, right? It's Kass gets okay. How many goaltenders have had more than 100 regular season shutouts?
100 regular season shutouts. Let's see, you got at least 1. You got at least 2. And I'm trying to think if there's someone I'm missing. Okay, I'm going to go 3.
Gager?
It's 2.
It's 2. Can you name them?
Waugh and Brodeur.
Wrong. Brodeur and Sawchuk.
Sawchuk. How many did Roy
Terry, I'm
have?
pretty
He
sure
had
it was
like 80
Sawchuk. He had
something.
102.
Really?
Yeah,
Wasn't it Terry Sawchuk who was like the leader forever, and then Marty Brodeur passed him?
I was,
Yeah.
I was trying to think one of those old guys that I may have missed.
All right, Gager, the board is yours, and you have a 1-0 lead.
Why does he have a 1-0 lead?
Because he just got the
That's
question
like
right.
But I thought it was contingent on him naming the goalies.
No. I was just bonus points.
I'm going to go with Kevin Bacon.
Yes. Hernan's ready for this
Nothing
too.
about Kevin Bacon. So.
Who was the other male lead in the movie Wild Things?
That would be Matt Dillon.
Ding, 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 ding. Nice work, buddy.
Like, can we pick something that's like categorically relevant, like goalies and Kevin Bacon?
Well, first of all, did you see the movie Wild Things?
No.
Oh, we could do a whole episode on the movie Wild Things. You got to see it. It's great.
Yeah, watch it alone.
Yeah. I watched it alone as a 16-year-old, and I also watched it alone as a 36-year-old. You got to watch Wild. Look, I'll say this: Wild Things has a lot of twists in it.
It's
It's a
actually
good
a
movie.
really good
It's a
story.
good movie.
Yeah.
You get to see.
You'll never guess the ending.
You get to see boobies, but you'll never guess the ending.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie, right? Like
Yeah.
overall, it's a good movie.
Bunch of perverts.
All right, Gager, you still have the board.
Let's go the great one for 100, Alex.
All right, Gager up 2-0 here. True or false? Wayne Gretzky played more than half of his seasons in the league as a member of the Edmonton Oilers.
More than half of his seasons in the league. False.
Correct.
Ding, ding,
Ding,
ding.
ding,
You
ding,
give him
ding.
these 50-50 questions where it's like, this is stupid.
Gager 3-0. The board is yours.
We'll go back to the great one, Alex.
All right. How many times did Wayne Gretzky score at least 70 goals?
3.
2.
No. No points for anybody. 4.
Oh, really?
He had 92, then he had 80 plus, and then he had 270 plus seasons.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah. All right. So Gage still leads 3-0. And but Cass, the board is yours now
No,
because
thanks.
Gage missed it.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go goaltenders number 2, please.
All right. This is a good question. I did not know this.
Is it a true false question?
Nope.
Like you're going to give me
sorry.
50-50 odds
This
here?
this is a name. This is one name here. Here we go. And this is
Stupid.
I'll be surprised if you guys aren't as surprised as I was when I saw this. Which current goaltender is second all time in regular season save percentage, minimum 250 games? Has the second best save percentage in the history of the game.
Save percentage.
And he is a current goaltender in the league.
Save percentage. All time with more than how many games?
250 games.
More than 250 games.
I don't think anybody will get this.
Save percentage. Oh boy. Man, more than 250 save percentage is tough.
More than 250 games played with
Can I defer?
save percentage is like 922.
No.
Or 921.
man. That's really, really high. Oh boy, this is a tough one. Current
many-
guy.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, just based on what you said, it's not going to be one of the ones we think. So
Maybe.
it's
I don't
probably
know.
not
Maybe I'm just throwing you for
really
a loop.
surprised. Probably not Carey Price. Probably not Ben Bishop.
I don't stop saying names and looking at me. Just pick
Trying
one.
to see what he betray it. I'm just gonna go Bobrovsky. Sure. why not?
Not Bobrovsky. Gager for a point and control the
Tough.
board.
I'm thinking of two guys here. Is it Henrik Lundqvist?
No, not
I knew
Henrik
it wasn't
Lundqvist.
Him I knew at least it was.
So no points for you. You'll have the board.
Wait, let me give me one more
Okay,
guess.
give me one more guess. Hernan, get ready. I'm going to come to you for a guess anyway. Nobody's used Hernan as a lifeline yet.
Well, it's because Hernan's not gonna know.
I might know.
Corey Crawford?
No, not Corey Crawford. Give me a guess, Hernan.
How many years has he been in the league?
Ooh, I would say,
I know
I don't want to
who
look it up right now, but I'm looking back, probably close to 10.
Yeah, I know.
Anton Khudobin?
No.
I'm gonna go with Devin Dubnyk.
No, Tuukka
Craig-
Rask. Oh! Tuukka Rask has the second best save percentage in the history of the National Hockey League.
Wow.
That's crazy, isn't it? I saw it on Wikipedia today, so it's got to be true. It's crazy. And you know what? He's got like a 929 this year.
You know
Really?
what?
Yeah, the dude was.
I
You know
really
what,
like
Kass?
him
I
as a
thought
goalie.
about Tuukka, but I was like, no.
Did you?
Yeah.
He didn't even cross my mind.
That was
No,
a
he
good
didn't
one.
even pop in
Yeah,
there. He
oh.
should have, though.
Yeah, because
That guy's
He's
silky
lights out.
smooth,
and his
man.
team's been really good.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I was trying to think
Yeah.
of.
Who has on the best team?
yeah.
Yeah, but even I went Bobrovsky because I'm like, well, he's had some really good save percentage years. He's had some really average ones too recently. But I was like, well, maybe.
All right, so Gager, you do have the board, and you still lead 3-0.
What are the categories again,
We
Alex?
have snipers. That's
let's
two
go
categories.
snipers.
Okay.
Let's go snipers.
All right. Who is the NHL's all-time leader in power play goals?
Oh, jeez. I'm going to go with Brett Hull.
Cass.
Alexander Ovechkin.
Ovechkin probably will be one day. But Dave Andrechuk.
Oh, I heard
Yes,
that this
274 or something like that. It's crazy. But Ovi, I think Ovi will catch him. But Cass, it goes back to you. You need to go on a run here, buddy.
Snipers.
Snipers. Hey, takes one to know one. Am I right, Cass?
Is it like there's no fighting categories here?
No, next time we'll do.
There's no like Lord of the Rings categories here, Dusty.
People, I can do Lord of the Rings for you next time. And people Cass beat up. We'll do that one. All right, here we are. Which retired player leads the NHL in playoff overtime winners?
Retired
player.
Playoff.
He's the
OT
all-time
winners.
leader in playoff OT winners.
I think
Hernan knows this one just in case.
I think
Yeah,
I
I'm going to
do.
use
there.
Hernan Lifeline just because.
You gonna use Hernan?
Oh,
I don't know if this is correct, but I'm going to go with John Leclerc.
I was going to say. Oh, it's not?
Oh.
Okay.
I thought you had it when you first
you
mentioned.
didn't have to pick it, do you?
No, because Hernan answered for him because it was lifeline.
I
So
thought
it's your
it was
turn.
just a
It's
suggestion.
your turn. This has been mentioned a lot, guys. Like it comes up once in a while in the playoffs. Like,
Overtime winners.
yeah, in a career, Leclerc had that
career?
great run.
I'm going to go with. Ooh, shoot. Now I'm thinking of two guys. Claude Lemieux?
No,
Is it
Claude.
Joe Sakic, 8 career playoff overtime winners.
Leclerc has to be close.
When you start to go, it's like, holy shit, he knows it. He's going to get it right. All right, so back to Cass.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, wait a second. No, you were wrong. Gager has the board.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cass.
We still got 2 categories, Big Bad Bruins, Puck Stoppers
Let's go Big Bad
are
Bruins.
done.
I'm not going to know
All right.
this.
And then
I
there's
gotta
one
run- I
more.
gotta run the tape
There's
on.
one more Kevin Bacon here, too. guys.
Ooh.
Great.
All right. Who? Oh, this one. You guys should get this one. Gager, are you up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is the Bruins all-time points leader?
Ray Bork?
Got it. 4-0. That secures the win.
You pick these.
Hey, you could have picked these categories too.
Yeah, but you would have picked the harder question in the category.
Oh no, I always
This
go
is
with the top one. All right, Gager.
We're going to go back to Kevin Bacon, Alex.
What is Kevin Bacon's character's first and last name in Footloose?
Oh,
Do you know it?
no.
Oh,
I
come
just
on, you
watched
guys.
this, too.
You sons. Come on.
I won't get it.
Oh, you won't get it?
No.
Okay. Cass, you going to get it? Oh, I can't believe you guys.
You have to realize, it's a dancing movie.
It's more than that. Well, it's a lot.
It's
dancing,
a dancing
yeah.
movie.
It's a great movie, though.
B, it's before my time. So
I'm only 3 years older than you.
The 3 years makes a big difference, Dusty.
Let me guess. You watched the new version of Footloose.
No, I haven't watched that either.
Sarah Jessica Parker's in it.
She's the best.
What's his name?
Ren McCormick.
Ren McCor- Oh, yeah.
Ah, guys. All right, we've got one more
I actually
question
don't think
left.
I've ever watched the whole thing.
Obviously not. You didn't even know any Kevin Bacon trivia last week.
No, because
Gage, let me ask you a question from last podcast. What color was Kevin Bacon's car in Footloose?
Red?
No, yellow. God, boys. All right, here we go. This is the last question. The other one's, Gage, you've already won 4-0, but this is to make it 5-0. Name both Bruins. Whose board is it?
doesn't matter.
Fine.
Just-
Name both Bruins that have won a Conn Smythe. Only 2 of them. One guy did it twice. One guy did it once.
Two Bruins?
2 Bruins have won the Conn Smythe. Yep.
One should be obvious, Gage.
Well,
Or no?
wasn't it Tim Thomas?
Timmy Thomas, that's one.
And won the Conn Smythe. Oh, Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr. There you go. Nice
Really
work.
would've got.
All right. Hey, elbow me. Nice. That was good. So
Elbow you in the
5-0.
face.
5-0. Cass, relax.
That's the garbage questions, man. Like
Gager
he's
got
always-
5 right.
Anytime Gager asks you, he's like, I'm going to ask him the 50-50 one where he has a 50% chance.
I am-
And he asks me, it's
I
like,
am literally
you're-
going in
you're
order.
picking from a list of
I
like
don't-
10,000
Okay.
variables.
No more 50-50 questions, Dusty. I got to.
Okay,
too
well,
many
we're done.
excuses.
Congratulations. Too many excuses. I am going to do the hardest Lord of the Rings category ever
Oh, bring
next
it.
episode, and then we'll see how it goes.
Bring it.
All right, so there you go. That's our 2 guys super trivia for this episode. Before we get to Keep It or Clip It, we'll have a few good hockey questions in Keep It or Clip It, some fun stuff as well. It's a time where a lot of people are looking for things to do as they are, stay home, whether they're forced to stay home or volunteers to stay home or whatever. One thing they can do is download all episodes of 2 Guys and a Goalie. You'll find them all very entertaining. The other thing you can do is binge watch TV. Kass, your most bingeable show you've ever watched.
Ever watched?
Yeah. What would you say is the most bingeable show that
bingeable
like
ever?
sit down, don't want to turn it off, you just want to keep going?
The Office. But that's not
No,
really
that
binge,
doesn't
it's
keep
just
you
like
hanging
just
though,
can
right? It's
watch.
just a good thing to have.
The most bingeable show ever.
Yeah, like what's the show where you're like, I can't turn it off. I gotta watch another episode.
Oh, that's easy.
Well, you know what? I would have been back at the start, the original Walking Deads. So like the first two seasons,
those are good.
first
The
two or
first two
three
seasons.
seasons. Those for me, like I loved those first couple seasons. Those were amazing.
We gave up on it after about 5 seasons, but those first 2 seasons were good.
Is the question the ones that even if you should stop, you can't?
Yeah, like you're like, it's 1 a.m. You're like, I gotta work in the morning, but I gotta watch another
one more.
episode.
I would have to say, especially if you haven't seen any, 24. That one,
24 was good.
Yeah.
My dad loved 24.
that was so hard to say no to the next episode, because back then I had to get it on DVDs and go over to Europe,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, that was tough to go to bed on that one. But that would be number 1.
Jack Ryan is a pretty good recent one.
Yeah, I
Really
watched that one on Amazon. It's good. I like it a lot. I like that actor. He's funny.
John
Yeah.
Krasinski.
Yeah, Krasinski. Yeah, he's not funny in that, but he's good. Shitty, what's your most bingeable?
There's so many, man. But lately I've been going Entourage.
Yeah, but that doesn't leave you. There's not a cliffhanger,
But
though,
it's
right?
good.
It is good, though. You're right.
Yeah, like but I watch so many different shows. Like I'm into Vikings. Like I'm not a Game of Thrones guy or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Game of Thrones was pretty
See,
bingy.
I would definitely be able to, if I hadn't seen any. I don't know if I could rewatch it. I don't
True
know.
Detective
I've rewatched
season
it
1
already.
is probably the best, some of the best TV. Or Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad was really good.
Yeah.
I think it's a better binge show than like a regular.
Especially if
Weekly show.
If you start like in season 6 when everything's
Oh,
just
yeah,
like that's just amazing.
that was good. That was good.
I'm gonna say The Shield. Have any of you guys watched The Shield?
No.
The pilot episode of The Shield was the best episode of television I've ever watched.
Really?
Yeah, all of a sudden I was like, okay, we gotta watch the next episode right now. Like, and it just kept being that way. There was like in Sons of Anarchy, Sons I binged hard
Ooh,
too.
That's a good
And
one.
actually, the guys who wrote The Shield did Sons after. Like The Shield is the cop,
really?
Dirty Cops. It's like the exact same as Sons, but Dirty Cops.
Oh,
and
way.
you gotta watch it. It's an amazing show.
What's his name? He's married to Katie Seagal. What's the lead writer on Sons?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Same guys.
Same guy.
So there was probably 3 or 4 moments in The Shield where I was like, holy shit, I can't believe they did that. Like it was next level
Yeah,
stuff.
it's good stuff.
So yeah, you got to watch The Shield. Have you seen The Shield?
No,
Did you watch?
I've heard about
You got to
it.
watch it. It's good. It's good.
First
I liked
couple
it.
first couple seasons of Lost.
I just rewatched Lost. I watched it from
couple
start to
again.
finish. First couple were good.
Early seasons.
Yeah, I did the first season and then a bit of the second. And I was like, once that polar bear came out, I was like, what?
Yeah, that's why I said first couple. Then
Yeah.
you kind of
Stan is on the live stream. He says Sons of Anarchy. And like I said, if you're a fan of Sons, you need to watch The Shield because it's basically the same
You
thing.
guys ever see In the Night of?
Yeah, I watched that episode.
That's
yeah, there's only
great.
1 season so far.
Yeah, it's 8 episodes.
Yeah, it was
it's
good.
so
though.
good.
Really good show.
What are you watching now, though? What are you watching now?
We need to find something.
Yeah.
We like fall back into the Parks and Rec, The Office.
I'm waiting for Ozark season 3.
Yes, that's a great
It's coming up right away.
Well, we talked about the Hunters.
Yeah,
And
I haven't watched it yet.
And my wife and I, we just started watching Man in the High Castle on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I heard that was.
I watched a
It's-
couple episodes.
Yeah.
I didn't stick around, but
I'm vested now.
Is Hunters with
Pacino.
Pacino.
no? What's the other one with Christian? No, the guy from Ozark.
Oh, there's a new
Oh
one.
yeah,
with
he's
Jason
in a
Statham.
different one. Yeah, Jason Bateman.
Bateman, not Statham.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I forget
that
what.
one's really good.
he's
Is it?
so good in Ozark though.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
That's a good show.
that's probably what I'm looking forward to most with.
With Ozark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
that'll be a
that's-
big one. That
that's-
comes out like March. That'll be the most streamed season of any
Oh
show
my
ever
gosh.
because everybody will be indoors.
Disney's got to come up with something here because.
They had the Mandalorian and then nothing.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to launch Falcon and the new Captain
That's all,
America,
they
but
delayed everything.
Yeah.
give us some content.
No, I know.
Yeah, that's tough. All right, let's play Keep It or Clip It for Sport Clip Haircuts, home of the MVP experience, where it is good to be a guy. Let's go with this one. If the season doesn't come back and finish, there shouldn't be any handout of the year of the end awards.
Clip it. How can you not hand them out? People still deserve it. They still play.
Season never ended.
Yeah.
How do you know how it's going to play out?
Well, they gave awards in the lockout seasons.
But did the lockout not start after? Like they didn't.
But if they have to end it, if they have to end it, the season had an ending. You may not have a Stanley Cup champion. You can still give up.
Oh, then I'm putting an asterisk by it.
Dusty, you always need a
Why?
happy ending.
Because the season didn't end. It's not like they said, "Hey, you're going to play 48 games."
So you're going to take away and say, "Well, Leon Draisaitl was going to get caught." And
if he played, look, what if he played one more game than Nate McKinnon on the overall team schedule? It's like an unfair way to balance it.
You can look at it easily.
I'm just upset. I don't think Ovi's going to break Gretz now. With the
that hurts him.
It hurts a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, but he's only missing 15 regular season games.
Yeah, that could be 15 goals.
That's true. And you know what? It is going to suck. He's going to miss out on another 50 goal season.
Yeah.
And he had the lockout season. He had 32 and 48, so that was another 50-goal season. And his rookie year, he didn't get to play because there was a lockout, and he probably would have scored 50 that year too.
He's the best goal scorer ever. It's not even close anymore.
All right, grilled cheese sandwiches are so much better with soup. Keep it or clip it.
Keep it.
What type of soup? I mean, I'm
tomato
not having,
for me, but
yeah, it's got to be tomato. You can't.
But you have to have it. Like when I have grilled cheese, I really, really want soup. It's not the same.
Because you're dipping.
I like to dip.
Yeah. I made a really good tomato soup last night.
From scratch?
Yeah.
No, I made soup yesterday too.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Asparagus soup though.
Yeah, I had soup as well. I opened up a can and mixed it with some milk. And
Did you say asparagus soup?
Yeah. Roasted, because we did roasted asparagus with dinner the day
that's
before,
good.
and so we had leftovers, and so I'm like, I don't want to eat asparagus leftover because that's gross. So what am I going to do with it? So I made
I
soup.
might make
I'm
soup out of it.
I'm a fan of blended soups.
Yeah, it's really good. It was good. That's what you do with it.
You just
throw in your chicken stock and some veggies and other stuff, and then blend it down. A little bit of cream and boom.
Yep.
The Oilers should bring back Anton Slepyshev. Keep it or clip it. Jim Matheson. I only bring that up because Jim Matheson was tweeting that they're trying to get a deal done with him.
Flip it.
Yeah, no need.
Why?
Well, he had a good year in the K,
Okay.
and he's 25, big body,
And it's fun to say
Heavy
Tony
shot.
slept.
Slippy slappy.
Tony Schlepp.
Slippy.
But you're clipping it?
I'm clipping it. Don't bring him back. Why? They don't need more depth. You have.
Well, that's what I'm
Anthony
wondering.
Sear, You have
But he's
Ennis
sort of-
now. You have. You don't need it.
Well, he wouldn't be able to play this year. He'd be there next year.
Yeah. So who's he going to replace? What are you doing?
It's like having Nygaard or Haas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, that's true.
We've seen what he does. I don't think he's got a
Outside
good.
of, yeah, like I think
hard shot.
Rashog said it. Like outside of him scoring, what else does he bring?
Yeah.
And he
Not
barely
much.
scores.
Yeah,
Not
you
much.
might as well bring
And
something
he
else.
didn't score.
And we
He was
talked about
serious.
this earlier. If you're down in the minors and they're talking about some guy not even in the organization,
Piss you off.
it would.
Yeah.
It's not good for the morale.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too. All right, let's go with this one. Pringles are better than Old Dutch chips. Keep it or clip it.
Hell no.
Did you say hell no?
Are you actually having to think about this, Gager?
Old Dutch is clutch.
Well, those old Dutch rippled ones. Yeah, I'm gonna clip it. The old Dutches are better.
Thank you. Good decision.
Yes.
Clip it. Not even
close.
Not even close.
But
I
sometimes you
disagree. My favorite chip. If I had to choose any chip, I'm taking sour cream and onion Pringles, and I'm hoarding them, and I'm going to just crush them for 2 months.
You hoard the Pringles.
You're never going to take 2 months to get through one of those things. You're eating them in a
No, I'm
night.
talking like a case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And but B, no. Like how is that better? Like this little pressed fake thing than like a real Old Dutch crunchy chip.
You guys are really disrespecting Pringles right now, and I'm starting to get a little pissed
Pringles
off.
are fake.
Pringles are fine.
Oh my
Are
God!
they even a chip?
But yeah,
No,
they're
yeah.
not. They're like
pressed
they're
into.
pressed into these shapes. Like when did you ever see a potato that was
You guys act like nothing else can be shaped. Like no other food can ever be shaped.
Well,
Well, I'm just saying, like you compare it to like a chip that's not. And it's like
Good one.
it's not the same. It's not the same.
Let's move along. Obviously, you guys have no clue what you're
the
talking
great
about.
debate.
No clue what you're talking about. All right, this is for all you trying to work out here during the quarantines that are out there. Running outside is better than running on a treadmill. Keep it or clip it.
Clip it.
Go ahead, guys.
He said
Or
clip it.
keep it. Well, keep it unless it's really cold. In which case,
Well, you got to come up with an answer one way or the other. Like, do you want to run outside or you don't want to?
Well,
Let's say
keep
it's
keep it. If it's
minus 15 or warmer.
keep it. Running outside is
Okay.
better. But minus 15 is too cold. That's way too cold. We'd never do that. That's dumb. That's like, have you ever seen those videos of there's a news video somewhere on YouTube some lady like giving an interview, talking to these two people running like when it's really cold, and being like, "Hey, why are you running outside when it's really cold?" This and that, and people are just like, "Oh, it's so safe, it's so fun," and they like leave the interview and they start running, and the girl gets like 3 steps in and just eats it like on the snow, and I'm like, "That's why you don't run in the snow and the ice. It doesn't make sense." But way better than running on a treadmill if you can do it.
Gager?
No, clip it. Running outside's it's too dangerous, and you got to stop at red lights and all that. That's just a joke. At home, controlled environment. I mean, some of the funniest videos out there are people falling on their treadmills. They can be dangerous too, but a lot less chance of injury, I think.
Just stare at a wall.
Well, you got the tunes, you got TV in front of you. You know,
yeah, stare at the wall and people not get any fresh air.
Depends on the treadmill. Like at Orange Theory, they're nice and bouncy. I like it because
different though, because you're doing like sprints. You're not just running for like 2 hours. If you had to run for 2 hours, or like an hour, or like 45 minutes even straight, would you want to do it outside or on a treadmill?
Treadmill. Because how am I getting back home? That's an hour and a half.
That's true.
I was including a round trip.
Oh, okay. We're going in a
River
circle.
Valley, boys, there's a nice run there.
Run the river?
Yeah.
See, and I walk,
And
so I can't even answer.
But there's mountain lions there, cougars.
I saw a coyote this morning.
Did you kick it?
No, I tried to run it over with my car.
I like cougars.
NHL playoff games without fans would lead to the best TV ratings in hockey history. Keep it or clip it.
That's the wrong one.
I'm going to clip it because following when the playoffs start, you're only vested, especially in the States, if your team's in it. I mean, I'll watch them, but even if there's no Canadian teams or some team that I'm kind of interested in watching, it makes it more difficult to watch. I clip it.
Well, your ratings are going to be higher because you have more people watching it from home that normally would be at the game. But really, that's 20,000 people in any given area. So
And the rest of the buzz from the league might have been taken away, obviously,
from
COVID-19.
You know what, though? I think, actually, now that I think about it, maybe you would, just because I think baseball starts up, so people have other things to watch. If everything starts, maybe they're more vested in it. I don't know.
All right, last one. 2 of every item on a grocery chip should be enough for someone. Keep it or clip it.
Clip it because
Like, what's the level of hoarding? Like, how's it work?
Well, again, it depends. There just needs to be more specificity because,
like, for example, if you want to take 5 cans of soup, that's cool, but
That's
don't
fine.
take 30.
Don't take 30. You need enough food for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month at the top.
And that's what we've got in my house right now, and I didn't go out and I went for one regular grocery shop, and I'm good.
Well, how many times do you go grocery shopping? Like for the average person, once a week?
Well, no, see, usually I'd stop in on my way home from work like 3 times a week and just get like, $60 worth of stuff as opposed to doing the big shop.
Yeah.
So that's how I would go about it, at
I
least.
found it easier to do so with food items, especially canned items. Maybe you limit it at 7, one for each day.
Come back in next week.
But the one guy I saw with all the thermometers.
Yeah, he's just an asshole.
Yeah, that's someone.
Why are you going to Costco and buying all of the thermometers?
Yeah, if I saw him there, I probably would have taken a pack and went and put it back.
Because he's going to sell them online.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to do now anyway, so joke's on him.
Well, you can't sell thermometers either?
Oh, I'm sure they'll, any sort of that bulk type of medical stuff, I'm sure they'll, I bet you they'll take it away.
They clamp down and everything. They're going to do the toilet
They
paper.
clap down on everything else, so hand sanitizer, you can't sell that. There's no difference. I mean, they could clamp down.
That's guys, the Anaheim Ducks of
Maybe he did have, maybe he owned a pharmacy or something, and he was.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Maybe he was setting it up for testing somewhere, maybe? Because if not, that's just a real prick move.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that was not good. All right, so that's going to do it for episode 46. I think I have a name for this one. Kass goes caulking. Hey, right? Or just straight up caulking.
I'm fine
Caulking,
with either.
yeah, caulking and filling the crack.
Well, what would it be?
Yeah, fill in the cracks.
Fill in the cracks?
Yeah, it's kind of a double entendre.
Fill in the cracks
Filling the cracks.
with Kass.
Episode 46. Filling the cracks with Kass. There you go. Kass fills cracks.
We're gonna move
like
to
that one
home
too.
improvement here.
All right, that's going to do it for us. For Hernan Salas, Matt Cassie, and Joaquin Gage, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Oddshark. Visit them at oddshark.com. They keep coming up with creative ways to keep you informed here during a time where obviously sports betting is not very big right now. Visit them at oddshark.com.